making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
Did the dirtiest play of the WNBA season just backfire instantly? That's the question fans have been asking ever since Sophie Cunningham went down with a brutal injury after a controversial collision with Bria Hartley. The play itself didn't look like a normal accident. Mid-drive, Hartley slammed into Sophie's leg, and the result was devastating. A torn MCL that ended her season on the spot. The arena fell silent, but what came after lit the internet on fire. Because instead of showing concern, Hartley was caught on camera with a grin. That single image, Sophie clutching her knee in pain while Hartley smirked in the background, spread like wildfire. Within minutes, fans were calling it dirty, reckless, and deliberate. Social media erupted with outrage. Clips of the hit trended across X and TikTok, with thousands of fans labeling it the dirtiest moment of the season. Analysts debated whether Hartley's body position looked intentional, while others argued it was just an unfortunate basketball play. But one thing was clear: the controversy had just begun. If the collision was bad, the smirk made it unforgettable. That split-second expression from Bria Hartley became the ultimate piece of evidence in the court of public opinion. To fans, it wasn't just a grin. It was proof of intent. The photo showed Sophie Cunningham writhing in pain while Hartley flashed what looked like satisfaction. And once that picture hit social media, it was game over. Debates immediately erupted. Was she just reacting in the heat of competition, or was it a deliberate taunt? Some tried to defend her, saying the image was taken out of context, but the majority didn't buy it. To them, it was the face of someone who had just pulled off the dirtiest play of the year. Even though Sophie herself refused to escalate the situation, fans didn't let it go. That single smirk overshadowed everything else.
I'm here to tell you the most dirtiest player in the WNBA contract has been written, bro. And I'm here to tell you, she's out for the season. Yes, you heard me correctly.
It didn't matter what Hartley's intentions were, and perception became reality. And soon people started digging deeper into her past. Because this wasn't the first time Hartley's name had come up in conversations about dirty play, the controversy over Sophie Cunningham's injury didn't happen in a vacuum. For a lot of fans, it was simply the final straw in what they saw as a long-running pattern of dirty behavior from Bria Hartley. Almost immediately, old clips started resurfacing. Fans pulled out receipts from earlier games, like when Hartley yanked on Angel Reese's hair during a rebound battle, or when she delivered a hard shove that sent Rebecca Allen to the floor. There were even compilations circulating online showing her most aggressive fouls and altercations, painting the picture of a player who crossed the line more than once. Comment sections lit up with phrases like, "Same old Hartley," and "She's always been like this." Even neutral fans, who didn't have a reason to pick sides before, began buying into the idea that this wasn't an accident at all. It was who she was. And once the media picked up on it, the label stuck fast. Articles and analysts openly called her the dirtiest player in the WNBA.
Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty, dirty player.
A title that's nearly impossible to shake. But as fans grew louder, the league itself stayed quiet. And that silence only made things worse. As outrage built online, fans waited for the WNBA to step in. With Sophie Cunningham sidelined for the season, the expectation was clear. Bria Hartley should face consequences. But the league stayed silent. No suspension, no statement, not even a fine. And for fans who had already labeled Hartley as dirty, that silence felt like betrayal. The double standard stung even more because Sophie herself had recently been fined for criticizing officiating. She spoke out about rough play, got hit with a penalty, and now here she was, injured from a collision that many believed was reckless, while Hartley skated away untouched. It wasn't just fans speaking up. Sophie's family took to social media, blasting the league for failing to protect players. Her sister tweeted that the WNBA was picking and choosing when to enforce rules. Her mom called out the inconsistency directly, fueling even more debate. By this point, the conversation had grown far bigger than one play. It wasn't just about Hartley anymore. It was about the league's credibility. And then just as fans demanded accountability, the story flipped completely, because karma seemed to come for Hartley on its own. Before the league could hand down any punishment, fate stepped in. Just days after Sophie Cunningham was ruled out with her torn MCL, Connecticut announced that Bria Hartley had suffered a torn meniscus, ending her season on the spot. The timing was impossible to ignore. Two players, two season-ending injuries, both connected to the same controversial collision. Fans wasted no time labeling it instant karma. Comment sections flooded with posts like, "Basketball gods don't play around," and "She got what she deserved." To many, it felt like poetic justice, as if the game itself had delivered punishment where the league would not. Of course, not everyone agreed. Some called it a sad coincidence, a reminder of how fragile careers can be. But the majority didn't hold back, turning Hartley's injury into one of the most talked about moments of the WNBA season. And while Hartley's name was dragged through the mud, Sophie's response added a whole new layer to the story. While fans were busy celebrating Hartley's injury as karma, Sophie Cunningham took a completely different approach. Instead of fueling the fire, she downplayed the drama. She told reporters she didn't believe Hartley meant to hurt her, choosing grace over revenge. That kind of response only earned Sophie more respect. In a league where emotions run high, she showed restraint and maturity, refusing to let the controversy define her. But make no mistake, Sophie's competitive fire was still there. Not long after the news broke, she posted a cryptic tweet, "F around and find out." It was short, sharp, and instantly viral. Fans saw it as the perfect balance, calm and composed in public, but unwilling to be walked over behind the scenes. The combination of humility and edge turned Sophie into a fan favorite almost overnight. She wasn't just a tough player, she was someone who could take a hit, handle the noise, and still come out looking stronger. And while she rehabbed her injury, her teammates made sure the Fever's season didn't fall apart. Losing Sophie Cunningham could have been a crushing blow, but the Indiana Fever refused to fold. Instead, her absence lit a fire under the rest of the roster. Kelsey Mitchell stepped into the spotlight, dropping a career-high 38 points in one game and proving she could take over offensively when her team needed it most. Lexi Hull, who was already a fan favorite for her hustle, emerged as a defensive anchor, even playing through a black eye that became a badge of toughness. Then there was Aaliyah Boston, the rookie phenom who kept dominating in the paint, showing why she's already considered one of the WNBA's brightest young stars. With her steady presence inside, the Fever had a foundation they could lean on every night. And of course, everyone was keeping one eye on Caitlin Clark's recovery. Even while sidelined, her presence loomed large, giving fans hope that the Fever's future was still loaded with promise. Together, this group proved that Indiana wasn't just a one-player show. They had depth, resilience, and the kind of fight that made them dangerous, even without Sophie on the floor. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the lesson from this saga is clear. Bria Hartley's smirk may have been just a split-second expression, but it changed everything. In the eyes of fans, it turned an unfortunate collision into proof of intent. And when her own season ended days later, the narrative of instant karma wrote itself. On the other side, Sophie Cunningham handled the storm with poise. She didn't beg for punishment or stir up drama. Instead, she showed resilience, earned more respect from fans, and reminded everyone why toughness isn't just physical, it's mental. And through it all, the Indiana Fever kept pushing forward, proving that no setback could derail their fight. So here's the question that lingers. Was Hartley's injury just cruel coincidence, or did the basketball gods serve up a little poetic justice? Whatever you believe, one thing's for sure. This season won't be forgotten anytime soon. If you think it was instant karma, drop a karma in the comments. If you believe it was just bad luck, let us know your take. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the WNBA drama is only heating up.